Nigeria in recent times has recorded unprecedented security challenges such as Boko Haram terrorist attacks, militancy, armed robbery, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, from Fulani herded farmer clashes to cultism, among other social vices. Hello and welcome to Insight Today. I am Jumai Manson. I am being joined by Joe Vicker, owner of Joe Vicker TV based in USA. And of course, I will not let the cat out of the bag. He will be telling us his title at the same time when he joins up on the program. Let's quickly go on a quick break. Insight Today continues shortly. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, it's Inside Today on Global Television. Like I said, I am being joined by Joe Vicker. Joe Vicker, good afternoon. Oh, what time is it in the United States at this point?
Yeah, this time is 2 minutes past 6 a.m. in the morning. So we are still in the morning hour, so it should be good morning over here.
All right, let's quickly go on a quick break.
Okay.
All right, apologies for that very short break. And like I said, I am being joined by Joe Vicker. And of course, he is the owner of Joe Vicker Television in the United States of America. Good afternoon, Joe Vicker. How are you doing? Here's afternoon. I'm sure you said, what time is it in the U.S. right now?
Yeah, it's 3 minutes past 6 a.m.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness. And of course, it's your birthday. Is it today or tomorrow?
Yes, today is 20th of March, I'm correct, so that's my birthday.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to you. You're well celebrated, sir. All right, it's great to have you on the program Inside Today. We're going to be looking at a very sensitive issue. I know you've been abroad for a very long time, owner of Joe Vicker Television in the United States of America. So definitely the news of insecurity in Nigeria, it's not new. From Boko Haram to insurgency to kidnapping to all of these fears that we go through here in Nigeria. And just imagining what people in the diaspora go through as well. So today we're going to be looking at the fears of Nigerians in diaspora, the fears of coming home. In your mind, what can you actually make of this very sensitive issue about coming home and the fear of being kidnapped, the fear of being terrorized and all of that?
Okay, thank you for having me once again on Global TV this afternoon over there and this morning from here. The truth of the matter, no one will definitely not to be afraid of coming home because of the insurgencies that has persisted in Nigeria. But at the same time, there are times people will decide to take the bull by the horn, because I discovered the people whom we trusted to take care of the insecurity are playing politics with insecurity, and that is the fact. I wouldn't, because of someone want to make politics, make money from the problem that they have persisted in the whole global war in Nigeria, and I'll deny myself the time I should affirm or connect myself to my fatherland. So based on that, the fear is not should not be just divulge or tell anybody, no, no, don't have fear. No, it should be there. But at the same time, in the midst of the fear, bulls must be taken. Someone need to take some drastic action to unravel or whatever is causing it. So this is what I'm going to say. There is need for us to take an action to really take care of this, to really face this particular insecurity headlong. By the time you come up with more questions, I will explain to you how it can happen. Lose your fear, face the battle. Victory will be on your side.
Let us look at personal safety. I know Nigerians in diaspora may also be concerned about their own safety when it comes to visits or when they return home. Now, what are the fears of becoming a victim of crime or violence during their safety in the country? I know it's a deterrent for many individuals. So what are your concerns about personal safety? Because when we hear about the numbers of individuals who are being slain, we're going to talk about the slain officers. You heard about 16 of them that were slain in Delta State. We're going to look briefly into that, but we're going to talk about this first. So let's talk about your own, as an individual, your personal safety. How is that a major concern when it comes to coming home from the diaspora?
Yeah, in my own personal safety, number one, if I'm coming home, I'll first of all, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, trying to make sure that home ground is safe to a great extent. So I want to advise myself, and what I'm going to tell myself, number one, I'll make sure I disguise myself. Disguising is not making to be a threat to anybody. That I will not Joe Vicar from California. I will come as a normal individual that in the street. That's number one safety precaution you need to take for yourself. Number two, then don't live a flamboyant life. Don't let people know that you have it all. The days where people will come and show up whatever they have on the street are gone based on the insecurity. Be like a normal human being. One of my friends here, each time he goes home, he doesn't go with his car is being driven by another person. He uses Okada. And you wouldn't know where the particular person that is using Okada. So disguising yourself is one of the keys. Number one. Two, don't show up. Be cool, be human, and move on with the society so that the society will not even recognize whether you are available or not. I think let me just stop here for now. Thank you.
Okay, all right, Mr. Joe Vicar. Looking at this very critically, I know when you travel abroad, it's for you to come back home for business and to invest. Now, for those that have business interests, how do they weigh the two options, insecurity, business? Would they still have that zeal to come home to invest when it comes to business and, of course, to giving our country that patriotic vibe, will I call it? Let's look at that aspect, for instance, in business and investment.
The truth of the matter, there's nobody who will see insecurity and decide to plunge his business into such chaotic environment. Nobody does that. That's why we keep conversing and preaching that the government should give people an enabling environment to have peace, to secure ground, making sure they have their business secure when they invest. But be that as it may, if you see what is happening in Abia State now, almost all of us are going to Abia State for investment because there's a little bit enabling environment over there. Now, but we cannot continue to wait for the government who has refused to do the right thing and tell ourselves that we are not going to do anything. How do I mean? I remember what Abacha said. When an insurgent persists for 24 hours, the government is involved. And that is the truth about Nigeria. Nigerian government, the truth of the matter, is playing politics with insecurity. Because there's no way, one of the way to also tackle insecurity, one of the way is know the perpetrators. If knowing them is not making to join them in their crime, don't be a partner in crime. Knowing them is a way. I remember one of my bishops, when he was posted, translated from where he coming from to the local village where he was the bishop. One of the first things he did, number one, he visited the police station, familiarized with them. He also asked the people, please, I want to know the chief gang of the bad guys in the community. They say, Bishop, no, no. They say, I want to know him. Who is the person? They gave him a name, gave him a house. He drove in and went in there. So I want to see you. He called a guy in a private meeting, entertained him, took care of him. So I want you to be my friend. I know that I cannot be in this place as a king, as a bishop, without knowing you. You matter in the society. Forget about what people call you that you are. But I know you exist. So I just come and say, we are work together. Let's work together. And people are like, is this man okay? Do you know what happened? There was a day something got stolen from the church. He quickly called the guy. I've lost those sort of things. Please, what happened? He said, Bishop, don't worry. I said, give me 24 hours. I go tell you. I know, say, I go. On the following morning, that thing was returned to the church. So what am I saying? So it's as well as the government, they know the perpetrators of this wickedness, but they don't want to point them out. And with that measure, the insecurity will continue. Now, talking about coming to invest in the midst of this playing around with this particular insecurity, making money out of it, someone will still invest, because we can't just leave the land to continue to deteriorate. We don't make them vulnerable. So what do we do? Number one, I said, taking the bull by the horn. For instance, if you allow me in Southeast, by the special grace of God, not by boasting, I will control insecurity to a great extent. What am I going to do? Let me give it to you. Number one, as I said, I will be familiarized with these particular bad people. What are their problems? Why did you venture into this insecurity? And one of the problems is because these guys don't have a job. They don't know. You can't tell me you are busy here, intervene me. And you don't tell me there's anything that will make you to start looking for where you can get some weapon to go and buy anybody. You can't do that because you are busy. You have a job. I saw the army, the Asaba Division Army, raided a factory where guns are being made.
Yes.
So, there was a testimony by the mother of the child. He said, right from childhood, that this guy knows how to manufacture airplane. And this guy keep doing those things. Nobody took cognizance of him. Now, nobody recognized him. Nobody assisted him. And now he's now manufacturing guns to make money. This is something that if the government discovered that there's a talent and harness it for the good of the society, since the government could not harness that potential, they are not being used for the wrong reason. And that is the problem. So that's the same boy who manufactured gun, bring him up and train him, give him an appointment, give him a position to use him for the good of the society. Since the government failed in their duty, the young boys are doing it in their own way to make ends meet. So what am I going to say? We need to take the bull by the horn, know the people that are perpetrating as much as we can, then at the same time appeal to their conscience. There are those who can give job, fine. The issue of amnesty does not work. Plus, government is concerned in amnesty, it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? You cannot disarm somebody his strength, his power, and promise him heaven and earth, which you don't give. Because our politicians are known as promise and fair politicians. That is what they're known for. They are professional in that. I owe no apology, and that's the truth. They are professional in promise and fair. So if, in any case, you want to help this guy to come out of their whatever insurgents, whatever they're doing, when you have them on a meeting, give them a job and let them know. Some of them who are engaged in that will definitely come out. But there are some of them who have taken this, it's not in their blood to take down life to survive. Then I think...
Mr. Jovica, I just want to interrupt a bit. You know, when you talk about amnesty, this started during the late President Musa Yar'Adua. We know about how he tried as much as possible to bring individuals who are militants from the Bielsa Oil region coming out and all of that. But this amnesty that we're talking about, has it helped, or it has actually made us in such a way that more insurgents are still up till now? And I can tell you for free that this amnesty you're talking about at this point, many presidents have come on board to have that one-on-one conversation. But because of for me, I feel it's because of the economic hardship that Nigerians are facing. That is why they feel this is the only route to follow when it comes to a source of livelihood.
The truth of the matter, the amnesty will not work because of the way, the modus operandi of the people trying to implement that or can go about it. number one, if you want to have amnesty, a solid amnesty, don't take away the gun from them from the beginning. But what reason? That is their strength.
Oh,
If you
wow.
are looking for their gun, they will come and bring fake one and drop the real one back home and wait for you. By the time you don't fulfill your promise, because they know them for them, they will go and take the other one, the plan B of gun. So, guys, keep your gun with yourself.
Mhm.
Come, let's have a dialogue. If God, look at what we're going to do for you. Let the gun in their custody be like a collateral. If we fail in what we promise you, you have every liberty to go back to wherever you were. But if we give you all you need, and you go back to them, then we are ready to you face the music. This kind of measure of amnesty will somehow work out. What how do I mean? If you want to, or the government can also think of a way, get something like I don't know how to. Okay, let me not go there. That's some secret thing. I don't want to disclose
Mhm.
publicly. But the point I'm making, make the gun where they cannot operate it with a. And when they do, you must know there are things to do about that because these guns have number. Except those even locally manufactured, there's a way to handle it in agreement with the person. Keep it to a particular safe place, and whenever the person touches it, you will know that he has used it for anything or trying to use it. So give him the job. There are people that give them some. You give a scholarship. Some of them you give them, but unfortunately, the Nigerian government we prefer to give scholarship to some other people, which I'm not going to mention. But everybody watching, we know. But if you want me to mention that, it's obvious. You can't tell me that an insurgent, a man that is known to be a terrorist, is not telling. He thinks here there's something like repented terrorist.
Mhm.
It's not. It's unheard of. But when it happened to a particular region, there's no room for repentance. They must go down the grave.
Mm.
And that is what is causing all this injustice here and there. So if you're talking of amnesty, give amnesty, don't disarm them for the beginning of the amnesty. Tell them, keep your thing, but come, let's have a dialogue. Take this, look at what we're going to do for you. Are you accepting this offer? And when they say, yes, we like it, your offer is okay, fine. If we fail in this particular agreement, go back to your gun since you still have it in your possession. But if we keep it to it the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, are you willing to return your gun? And the answer will gonna be yes. And so what am I doing here? I can't start living in the bush all the days of my life.
Mhm.
Just take a look. These people that really do this. I saw them being arrested about more than too many number of them. None of them were looking so healthy. Where is the money they take every day for ransom? So that means somebody somewhere is eating the money and keeping it in the bush. So if somebody somewhere will be able to offer them a better life, they will forget about living in the bush all the day and live in the city with the people and make ends meet, settle their life. This is
You
what
know
I'm.
what, you know what, Joe Vicker. Some insurgents have been interviewed, and they asked them, "You're not looking healthy. You look frail. You look hungry. Why are you into this?" And they tell you they're doing it for their family, that they're here like a sacrifice. Whatever happens to them happens. But all the money they make from this, from terrorizing to all of these insecurities that we hear of, goes to their family. So they've actually made up their mind. Now, not to divert, what do you think the lack of confidence in government response has actually increased the insecurity in the land? But let's revert back to the presidential speech. I keep reverting back to it. You know, when he came into power, the change of the service chiefs that was made, it showed that he wants swift action when it comes to bringing down insurgency and, of course, insurgents in Nigeria. Now, what's your take on the action the military is taking when it comes to security? And for individuals in the diaspora, do you think they are performing, or their performance is not up to the level in which individuals have obtained at this point? What's your take on that? The military, service, sister service groups and all of that when it comes to police and all of that. Do you think they're actually playing a vital role, or insurgency is just still on the rise, and all the figures we hear about these particular camps coming down is just a farce?
Yeah, in the area of bringing down some camp of the terrorists or bad gang or whatever is a good one and it's a welcome development. But that is not still going to stop the insecurity. because I live abroad, but I have my foot on the ground to an extent. So I discover whenever some of them, when we interact or when I hear people that interacted with them, they say, "Oh, they don't go rent this place." Okay, me where no one joined this, me I go join them now. They don't go buy my brother. Now that they go see me. So you discover that the anger is too much in the heart of this. They say, make all of us die. Now talking about the people that interview, they say they are doing it for their family, and some are doing it for their religion because of the orientation they have in their mentality. They don't like us saying it, but that's the truth. Some are doing it for them because that's what they believe. That if they do it, because they say Boko is haram, the academic is negative, it's evil. But at the same people that will tell us the academics is evil, we also use the what's coming from the Boko. That is the English. They've gone, you're using it from the Boko. That is haram. You're using haram to fight haram. It doesn't work. So those of them telling you that it's in their blood, yes, they have been indoctrinated to believe that when they die, they have a better place to be. They're going to give some reward wherever they go and find themselves. So with that kind of mentality, you can never change those people. You can only change their psyche, their mental, the kind of religion they grew up with, the kind of indoctrination. You can't tell somebody that you want to sacrifice their life, that they don't do sacrifice that will not yield any result. People like Mongo Park, they sacrificed their life in discovering River Niger. Today we mention River Niger, we remember them. People like Mary Slessor, they made some sacrifice with them to give us some certain. But these guys are sacrificing for insurgents without any. Nobody knows them. Nobody knows them, apart from the chief gang. Nobody knows. So what's the essence of that sacrifice? Because they have a wrong doctrine. They have there should be reorientation of the mindset of some of these guys to know that they're just hurting their life and future. And when they die, they are going nowhere. They don't have nothing to enjoy anywhere. So the problem remains the reorientation of most of these gang leaders and these people. So that's what I'm going to say. They need to work on their mindset for them to know that. But those of them who went into that because of hardship, because of non-performance of the government, those are the one I'm referring to. Those ones, all they need is give them the enabling support they desire, help them, give them connection, and some of them will just disease. But I know there are people, one among them, that blood is inside of them. If they don't kill, they will not survive. Those people, Bible will always say, he who kills by sword will go by sword. That's my take. Thank you.
Very true. Now, let us talk about the Nigerians in diaspora. Now, individuals in diaspora abroad, we that are here in Nigeria, we actually know what is happening. Now, individuals, do they feel that the government is not doing enough to protect its citizens and also to maintain law and order? You have a mindset, you're not here, you're in the United States. It's what you hear or what you see that you believe. So there's a particular belief or mindset you have. So do you think the government is not doing enough to protect its citizens?
Absolutely not doing enough. Let me not even wait you to finish, because absolutely. Because I watched one video clip where the Ghanaian journalist was analyzing the military power of Nigeria and Ghana. You need to see the rating. Nigeria, they dug their car for Nigeria. They say in terms of this military wear, in terms of gunboat, drones, Nigeria is far above Ghana in numerical strength, regional, whatever. Nigeria outclassed Ghana in equipment, in personnel, those in academic, in military. Nigeria outweigh Ghana based on the video clip I watched. But no, guess what? Ghana is fighting insecurity better than the same Nigeria there, but it's better than them. Why? So that's what I'm saying. They're not doing enough. Their best is nothing to write home about. And that's what insecurity aspect is there. Don't forget what General Sarabacha said. Late. God bless her memory. As long as this insecurity continues, the government knows what is happening. Look at what happened in Jos. The Christmas gift those particular family could receive is to wipe away a family. How many people were arrested? You saw recently what happened to the soldier. The president just said that the perpetrator must be brought to book. When did the perpetrator of those who massacre people in Jos be brought to book?
But you heard what, talking about the slain soldiers, Mr. Joe Vicker, you heard what the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, he said the individuals are machineries that came into slaying those soldiers. That how possible for youth to have those sort of sophisticated weapons. So we do not know. It's still being investigated as we speak. Let's talk a bit about that now. Do you think there are machineries that came in from without any? A colleague of mine said there wasn't a proper investigation or it wasn't a proper information given to those soldiers that were slain in Delta State. Do you believe that it's possible that the attackers are machineries?
It could be, or it may not be, but it is a very high level of failure from the government side of it. Somebody made a video, said Nigeria is where police station closed by 6 p.m. for insecurity reasons. Police station, please let's close the gate for insecurity. Okay. So you are telling us machineries are killing our soldiers. What we are the custom doing at the border for the machinery? Where are they coming from? That is the failure of government, if it is true. If it's not true, then you are lying to the people. How can you tell me that it's machinery? We are machinery from Sudan. From where? So whether if actually the machinery from Nigeria or wherever, that is still the failure of the government. The compromise that is in the military and in the government general. It is that why they have failed. Look at how we lost those gallant men. These are husbands of wives, fathers of children. Because in the name, let them serve a country that they love so much, they ended their life that way. Because I have interviewed a soldier. Just that I want to bring him to my domain, the television. This guy said that do you know when they started fighting the insurgent? That what's the name they use them? He doesn't miss his target. That's the one name they normally use them for them. So he will shoot. Bam! He has the left hand. Anything he's shooting is direct to the point. And those guys were falling down. To his greatest surprise, his fellow soldier shot him on the foot. Kana kashe su da yawa dalla kabari. Ke ta iska ne? Arna banza kawai. The guy was like, he said that's how he left soldier and ran to Ghana. So how can you stone somebody that is hitting the enemy directly? I call him Arna banza kana kashe su da yawa. I'm telling you what the guy said. The guy said that's how he left soldier. He was hiding. So tell me how you can defeat your enemy in that. How will you be talking about machinery? So it's the compromise and failure on the government side of point of government. That's why it will never stop. The insecurity will definitely persist because there are infiltrators. There are those they say they have repented in the military, in police. What do you expect? Thank you.
All right. Now, of course, individuals in diaspora will think that when you hear insurgency, when you hear terrorism, you think it's just in one particular area, like the north. But now we see that it has spread in so many areas. They might not be called Boko Haram or ICS or whatever names in which they've given. We've seen things like iPod. We've heard about other groups that come out in fight of law and order who are not military personnel. Now, being diaspora, how has that affected your mental health because of the constant reports of violent incidents and insecurity in Nigeria and some states you share like a border with or close with or in Nigeria? Has that affected the rate in which you feel coming home? It's an issue. Talking about the stress and anxiety caused by uncertainty and the fear of the violence, which can affect the well-being and peace of mind.
Yes. The truth of the matter, Southeast was one of the peaceful areas we have overknown over the time. But until the incoming of the present government, the present APC government, that's when we have the insecurity now pushed down to Southeast. Now, why is this so? Because our government failed on their duty. Look at how military men are being massacred. Because the government failed on their duty. Let me take for an instance. I've confronted some of these guys. Say, why will you be slaying our military men and policemen? And some of them came up with it. Do you know, my brother, was massacred by carrying ordinary flag for protest. And the guy was embittered. Now, I'm not saying that those guys must go into whatever protest, but there are ways to treat protest. Look at what happened in Lekki. Some of those people that they are doing this in Eastern East, they are
NSAS.
NSAS. You saw people with the flag. That particular Lekki protest was never violent until the military came and started bringing those people down. Rather, they also promoted or sponsored their own people to counter that particular protest. Why is it that this, sorry, I don't know where your friend belongs, but I'm not saying it the way I think is the truth, so that God will not judge me and humanity will not judge me.
I understand.
The truth of the matter, this SPC crop of government, it could be where you belong, but forgive me, but that's what I think is the truth. This SPC crop of government was one of the government that stood against PDP in protest. They were the most protested group, the people that make up APC. President Buhari, former President Buhari, and many of what's his name? The former Edo State governor, Adam. They were the people. I know Oshomole gave tough time to the government that be that time. But now the same APC government doesn't want. They don't want to hear pro. If you just say pro before you finish test, they are shooting you. They don't even want. We are saying the pro. They don't know if the pro is the pro procrastination. We just pro. Why? That is what is happening in the East, Southeast. When people want to protest, when they say we don't like this, the government will just allow this people to start bringing them down. It's uncalled for. You cannot get peace with that. So the insecurity back home now is definitely going to affect people back home not to invest. But at the same time, as I will say, we are not going to relent. That is one of the ways we normally fight, get our community safe, is to know the people, as I said. And if you know them, we have whatever collective effort. In Igbo adage, we are onye kwelo zoga. If all the communities will come out for security guard in their various communities, no vehicle comes in a particular community without knowing where the vehicle is from at a particular time. Those particular vigilantes that existed in those days need to come back because the government has failed. Look at what is happening in Imo State. If the soldiers will come in a way to stop the insecurity, both the innocent and the guilty or the accused are gone down. For how long? I know of a family, they just had to burn down their house because they're looking for a woman, the son. They said the son ran into that place. Someone was ran into a compound. The soldier went there, abandoned the house. And you think that that insecurity is going to stop that way? Go to Izombe, go to many, I can't mention you, go to Osu. I didn't say those boys and there are not even criminals there. I know. You heard what this guy Nande said, that anybody perpetrating criminality in the name of Biafra must face the music.
The wrath of the law.
People perpetrating wickedness with that name, whatever they are agitating for. But what would they do? The government should know how to fish the actual perpetrators out, not taking laws into their hand by allowing everybody to go down. And this is going to create more enemy to the military men on uniform. It's not going to give them any good name. And nobody will see them and be happy with them. So that's why we need to be very careful. So the truth of the matter is the government has failed. That's why now Southeast is no-go area. Southeast is somewhere that nobody will ever think of living with. But I still want to maintain, we must take the bull by the horn, take the security into our own level where we can, though we definitely need the support and the cooperation of the government of the day.
Of course.
But at the same time, East, West, North, and South, home is the best.
All right, Jovika. We are going to go on a quick break so you can rejoin the Zoom because of our time. But we will continue with the discuss of the day, and that is the fear of Nigerians in diaspora coming home. Don't go anywhere. Inside Today returns shortly. welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Inside Today on Global Television. And we're looking at the fears of Nigerians in diaspora coming home. And I am being joined by Joe Vicker. He is the owner of Joe Vicker Television in the United States of America. Yes, he is calling us all the way from the USA. Mr. Joe Vicker, thank you for being a part of Inside Today, the program. And thank you for being on Global Television today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Now, we all know that the insecurity in Nigeria is a significant issue that can impact the lives and well-being of Nigerians living abroad, now leading to a range of fears and concerns about safety and stability of their homeland. All right, Mr. Joe Vicker, I have a question that I need to ask.
Okay.
You know, when we say Nigerians in diaspora, what are your fears? Because you still have families here. And you have families that live here, who go to the farm, who are in your various villages and all of that, and there is insecurity in Nigeria. What are the fears in which you have concerning family and friends who are left behind in the country?
The fear is the obvious. We always pray to God, say, Father, please let nothing happen to our members of our family. The fears of someone goes to the farm and could not come back alive. The fear of someone being strangled. That is why we keep talking about food scarcity. Look at the cost of food, because some farmers are no longer going to farm. So the fear is enormous. They are there. It cannot be overemphasized. We have a lot of fears. But at the same time, we need to ask ourselves, how can we get it right? The government is the arrowhead to get it right, insecurity, but they are not ready. Rather, they just bring the military. Military will not do investigation. They go to a particular market, it will be run down. This approach is not the solution. The approach is not the way to go. I still maintain. They need to allow people, the villagers, the community, to take care of this particular problem by knowing these guys. And when you know them, not to go and bring them down. Some of them, hear them out. But the government of the day doesn't want to care. So the fear is there. And the fear cannot stop until the right thing is done. I'm only speaking based on my own personal experience, how to tackle insecurity, how to disguise myself, how to know the people, but not everybody that knows that particular measure. Yes. So since they don't know it, that's why we keep recording low economic, our economy will keep dwindling. Let me tell you, the money government spent on fighting insecurity, buying ammunition, carrying guard to protect them. If that money can be channeled in helping the Eastern boys, you don't need any security to move around. I know what I'm saying. The amount of money, the volume of money Nigeria spend in carrying security escort to protect them, divert that money to taking care of this young man. Every government president will walk on the street. Just today, if unless he walks on the street, nobody will talk to him. He will say he will have celebration. But some of that government cannot freely walk because he's giving the people hope. He's making the people happy. If anything wants to happen to any government that is doing something, the people will fight for that government. So who touched this man? Nobody will touch him. Anywhere they make the plan, you will see people to fight that particular group. So the truth of the fear is enormous, and it cannot stop until the government gets it right. But waiting for the government to get it right is one thing that can never happen in the next future. Because we have worked this government for years. Frankly speaking, I'm disappointed. That is my view. Crucify me for it.
Talking about the government, now how have Nigerians in diaspora, like you are a prominent individual in the United States, you own Vicker TV and you've been lending your voice. And I know that recently you did something, there was a kind gesture in which you visited the Owerri Correctional Center to assist the inmates in one way or the other. That was a kind gesture, though you are abroad, and yet you extend that hand of fellowship, that hand of love, not saying to yourself, well, I'm abroad, so I don't need to bother about my brothers or sisters in Nigeria. You just still go all out to make that difference, to make an impact. Now, looking at that, let's take it back now. How has individuals like yourself, there are so many Nigerians who are prominent in the United States. I know we have doctors, we have scientists, we have individuals like you that own TV stations. How have you lended your voice to make an impact for the insecurity, insurgency to stop? Because this is our home. We have no other country except Nigeria. So God forbid if anything goes wrong, even if you are abroad, it will affect you in one way or the other. So how have you lent your voice in order to bring a halt to insecurity, despite the fact that you're abroad?
Very wonderful. This is one of the best questions I'm so delighted to speak on. Number one, yeah, the visit of the prison happened to be when one of my friend who works in there as a pastor and a chaplain to that particular correctional center, um, told me as he was just trying to share some stories of one of our bishops who visited for prayers over there. And I said, when I spoke to one of these guys that have been there for just because of 25,000 naira, I was like, excuse me. He said, yes, he has been granted bail, but he need to pay a fine of so amount of money for them to be free. And I said, oh, there are people who are there just to pay 25. There are many of them. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I now asked him, requested for the list of those guys, and true and full. The list among that time, it was 25,000, 30, 40, but now we have about 70,000, 80, 100, 120, 40. So that was what I did. I said, okay, if the problem is paying the fine, I will raise them some money, even if it's 2 or 3 people. I'll send to them, please get them out, which they're going to compile the video for me to tell the world. And I also requested people to support me. The only one person has supported with a token fee for us to add up to what we're doing. That is one of the ways to also bring peace back home. If that guy comes out, I don't know what his story might be. He can be, bro, we did this, not just me. We did because I'm a founder of Igbo Role of Development, And one of the ways is to make development come back home. That is our focus. Now, I will say we need to make development come. With the kind of life you are living that took you there, you cannot develop. And because of that mindset, we brought you out. Can you just think about yourself and move on? So we're going to be friends with them. Being friendly with them will help us to have access to some of his kind. And some of his kind, we definitely make sure they will say, these are the guys that are doing us good. This is one of the ways to also fight the insecurity. And when people don't know, if you want to tell me that maybe in a New Year broadcast, governor, we just moved to the prison there, check all the people that are needed to pay fine. There are many of them in that prison, they didn't commit any offense, but someone want to show them that they is above them. I know something like that. Say, I will teach you a lesson. Oh, you are dragging this land with me. You want to tell me you're a man? You're a man, okay, I will show you. Before you know it, they will put allegation on the young man, they will dump him in prison there. I went in trial for 20 years. So if the government can take time, look at this kind of people, release them. That particular governor is the friend of that particular guys. They will even tell their gang, if they have a gang, please not leave this bad governor alone for me. Now make me constant alive. If anybody touch me, these are the things government don't know. Everything cannot always be fire for fire all the time. Love is a weapon. Care is a weapon. Sometimes you use your weapon of love to win your battle. That is what we just did. We showed the love so that we can win their heart, not to go back to negativity. Like as I always say, there are people, their heart has been poisoned to be wicked all the time. Because even the Bible says the heart of a man is desperately wicked.
Desperately wicked, yes.
People, it's just a way. If you identify them, let whatever they dig, let them fall inside it. I don't have pity for such people. But I have pity for anybody who is ready to say, please, I need to get out of this mess. That is my point. So that's what my contribution has been, the visit to the prison. Number 2, we keep telling our people, please, don't engage in taking the life of any person because you are looking for something. Please, even the military, you guys are bringing down. It's not happening. Some of them can also be a blessing to you tomorrow in one way or the other. Because I believe this is a global world. Look at me in America talking with you over there in Abuja.
Exactly.
So tomorrow, that particular military man you want to bring down can be somebody that can help you when you travel tomorrow. We can travel. He's able to see his son. For instance, there was a guy who finished his school. He went to Port Harcourt looking for a job in our company. You need to see how they run him down. He's qualified just because he has no connection. And they were not treating him so. This was the one man. Said, wonderful people, we need this particular office to occupy. This guy is friend. Because he doesn't have experience, you are using some excuse. Let's have him there. They said, no, no, no. Blah, blah, blah. The man stood for that guy. Though he was not given an opportunity, but he saw that the man stood for him. Something happened. The man was driving from Port Harcourt to Enugu. The man is from Enugu, working in Port Harcourt. So these bad guys or whatever blocked the Aba Expressway. So people will now decide to use inside Ungwa to travel back to their home.
Okay.
And this was struggling with, because there was first scarcity. So if you take the route of that long distance that people are going to, the fuel might got finished on the way. No finished along the way. He had to follow the Ingwa boys decided to allow people to go through their road, but you must pay them. And you keep paying from one joint position, one spot to another. So when he came, that's where the guy was. He met the man. He looked at him, and said, "Sir, are you so man?" He said, "Yes." "You work in certain place." So, "But man, I leave this man." So, but we talk like that. Why they talk? Now this man way fast. They make I get work for oil company.
No,
This
wow.
man, he speak for me, but they don't get him. Okay, if they say that those your boy men where I see here, me I don't even collect money from them. I can collect their blood. You know what I'm saying? And the man was like, "Say my son, can you come close?" They have to exchange number. In fact, he said, when he said, "I don't have fuel," he took him where he got fuel, filled his car. The guy man gave him some money. I took my go. So sometimes being sincere, helping this one can save your life.
True.
But our government don't care. They think everything is military. Everything, boom, boom, boom. It doesn't work that way. So I'm contributing by preaching the people that violence does not pay anybody. That we feel because of the weakness of the government side, I engage in criminality. You will pay with your life. That has been my vanguard, my preaching. So that's my contribution to make sure that our people can start coming home. Thank you.
All right, Jovika. I have another interesting question I want to ask. Now, for individuals who have stayed 30 years, some 40 years, and they want to come home to settle, they have made it, they've made their money, but they want to come home to their fatherland to settle. Now, with the rate of kidnapping, terrorism, violent crime, the rate of high cost of living in the economy, how do you place all of that with someone that has worked so hard from one menial job to another to a white-collar job abroad and has paid all those prices? Do you think this is the right time to come home, or just watch from afar and show love like you just said?
This is not a time to come home. Let's face the reality. We need to tell ourselves the gospel truth, because our government has never gotten it right. You can see they're still talking about bringing America to come and rescue our girls that have been kidnapped in a Kaduna have become a den of kidnapping business. So, and they're still talking about bringing the expatriate to come and help them rescue those girls. If they're not yet ready to fight insecurity, even if you bring Afghanistan, Russia, the insecurity is not going to. So until those people who are making money from the insecurity are brought to book, you cannot stop. Now, this is not the time for anybody to come and completely settle home, except in area where the insecurity is not prevalent, where it's a little bit not much. Fine. What do? We, as a group that are canvassing for Igbo rule, what am I doing? I am not preaching, let's start developing our Igbo. Let's start I'm talking about Southeast because that's where I came from. I cannot value anybody in their own region.
Yes,
Let everybody developing their area. And that is where we have a community, we have built up a community, we are coming home with a lot of investment. We have them, I'm not going to disclose them until the right time. We are coming home. So all we needed now, and that is what we are working toward, because staying here is not the best. This is here where you pay for everything. If you fat, you pay for it. If you steal, that's the truth. If you net, you pay for it. You pay for it. You pay for everything. But look at home. It's where you have your free air, where you interact, socialize with your people.
True.
Look at, if I want to remember, I'm so nostalgic of home. So seriously, I remember if I feel like eating fowl, not this frozen something that I don't know how many years they have stayed in the refrigerator. All I need to say, hey, go and catch me that local fowl. They will get it fresh. get me bitter leaf fresh, do everything fresh. And when you eat it, you live longer. But not all this frozen, and our life is being frozen every day. We need to come. I'm so nostalgic. I need to come, but insecurity is the biggest.
Yeah.
And what the government will tell you, come home and invest. They are using 24 mopo to protect themselves. But when I'm coming home, they don't give me. If I request for it, I'll pay from my pocket. It's wrong. So it's not time to go home. Let us think of how to make our home better by bringing developmental project.
Talking about development and, of course, investing. Quickly now, so we can wrap it up on the program. Mr. Joe Vicker, looking at the depreciation of the Naira, don't you think it's going to affect a lot of investments coming home to invest when it comes to businesses? Because it's not just for, it's not a charity organization. It's a business in order to bring in income, profit. So is this the right time to come home to invest, really?
Frankly speaking, looking at the Naira is a very big threat for anyone to come home to invest. It's a very, very big threat. But what can we do when you keep having a government that don't know how to manage the economy of Nigeria to boost up the price of Naira? What can you do? So that's why I said this is not the right time. But that you are not going to, this is not the right time, should not make you to say it is never, never happen.
Very true.
Start a journey of 2,000 miles start from a journey. That's why I really pained me during the last election. Nigeria leaders, this cabal, I don't think they really mean well for Nigeria. I'm not here for anybody. I'm not supporting anybody. But sometimes Nigeria should know how to do things in different ways so that they can have a better result. But Nigeria is a country that does the same thing and expect a different result. Rather than get it in blueprint, they'll get it in your writing, in paper. But they know it's not visible, it's not working. But they come and read it. Look at Nigerian budget.
Right.
Budget, almost how many percentage was for the presidency and those sitting only to sit and have a meeting? They have about 20 billion amount for them. And you're telling me you're going to get it better? I just heard about the 5 billion loan for the student has been
put on hold. That'll be a topic for the other day, Mr. Joe Vicker, because I'm definitely going to invite you on the program again. But because of our time, we have to wrap it up on the program. Thank you so much, Mr. Joe Vicker. Of course, he is the owner of Joe Vicker TV based in the United States of America. And he is also the founder, President General of Igbo Ulo Udo in Ihenaya Development Union. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part. That was a tongue twister, Mr. Joe Vicker.
Thank you so much. I will always be my pleasure to be with you.
Oh, thank you so much for being a part of the program. Thank you for your time. And I know you said it's evening now, right?
Morning.
It's morning. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And of course, happy birthday. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much for being a part of Insight today. Hope to oblige my invitation next time.
Definitely. If I'm free, definitely I'm going to be there.
Thank you,
God
sir.
bless you. I appreciate this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.
Bye-bye.
And of course, that's a wrap on the program Inside Today on Global Television. Now you have heard from a Nigerian who lives in diaspora on coming home when it comes to the insecurity and insurgency being faced in Nigeria. But all hope is not lost. Let's be hopeful. Let's be positive. All will be well. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for being a part of Inside Today. Bye-bye.